Hello techies, welcome to Automation Anywhere tutorials. My name is Amir, I'm a senior programmer. In this session, we will learn how to work with database commands. By using database commands, we can integrate databases with automate tasks and move or capture data. Automation Anywhere enables you to transfer data between a database and other applications. You can import and export data in various formats and convert from one format to another. On my screen, you can see the database subcommands which are providing by Automation Anywhere. For the database subcommands, we have connect, disconnect, SQL query, insert or update or delete, and finally we have run stored procedures. I will explain you one by one. By using connect, we can connect to the database by using connect subcommand. In the same way, disconnect, we can disconnect the database by using disconnect subcommand. SQL query, if you are connected to any database and if you want to run any kind of select command or multiple select commands at a time by using joins, you can use SQL queries. Next, insert or update or delete. If you want to insert any kind of data or update data or delete data from the database, you can use insert or update or delete subcommands. If you want to run a stored proc, then you can use run stored procedure command, that is nothing but subcommand, to execute a by using database. Now I will show you practically how to do that. Let me switch to SSMS, nothing but Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. If you see, before going to show you Automation Anywhere, I will show you few of the steps what I'm going to do by using this SSMS. The first thing is that the server type and the server name and the authentication. While I am going to be installing this SQL Server 2012, I have explained you in the previous sessions to install on your local. Nothing but in your local server. Okay, if you see the server type is database engine, the server name is localhost slash SQL server underscore 12. This is the thing which I have given the server name while I'm going to install. The authentication, I have used Windows authentication, and now I'm going to connecting it, right? These are the same things that you are going to be using while you are going to be connecting from Automation Anywhere also. Let me show you that one also, but before that, I'm going to connecting this. Now, if you see, the server has been connected successfully. Under that, you can see the databases. At the time of installation, I got all these things. But if we want to create a new database, we can go ahead and we can create a new database. I can say this name as database name as student database. I'm just giving the student database name as a student database, and then I'm going to click on OK. Just forget about all these properties and all these things. I have explained all these things in my Microsoft SQL Server tutorials. If you want to learn more about that, you can go ahead and you can do that. Okay, now I'm going to click on OK. Now you can see there's the database. Right, now let me expand this. Let me show you the tables. I don't have any tables as of now. I'm going to create a new table. New table that I'm going to creating it. And I'm giving as ID. First one as ID I'm going to give it. Data type I'm going to give it as integer or small int or integer. Okay, and then I'm going to give it as name. Name is nothing but student name that I want to. So I'm just giving nvarchar of 50, and then I'm going to make it ID as primary key. Okay, set primary key, and then I'm going to saving it as student table. So I'm just giving as a student. Okay, now if you see the table, let me go ahead, let me refresh it again. If you see the student table, let me go ahead, let me uh, check it out what is the data there. This is the newly freshly created table, right? So select top 1000 or select n number of records, we will find 0 records. If you see select top 1000 records, it is nothing but we have seen 0 records, or else if we are going to be executing top 10 also, it is 0. Now if I want to insert the data into this table, what we can do? Insert into, what is the table name? It's nothing but student name. What are the columns that we have? We can say, uh, ID is by, it's a primary key, so that we don't want to enter anything. By default, it will enter automatically based on we have given the primary key as ID as a primary key. Okay, that the values, I'm just giving name over here, right? Student name, I'm just going to give it as Amir, and then I'm going to be executing this one. Okay, student. Okay, if you see over here that I have given as a master, that's the reason. Let me go ahead, let me change it. Let me go to student database. Now I'm insert into that, I'm going to give it ID name, and after that I'm going to give it the value as 1, and then I'm going to executing it. If you see ID also, we have to give it over there. If you see ID as 1 and name as Amir. So if I want to update the name, what do we have to do? Update student set name equal to Basha, where ID equal to 1. Let me go ahead, let me update it. Let me check it out again, select top 1000 records. You can see 1 has been updated as Basha. Now if I want to delete from table where ID equal to 1. If you see ID, there's no IDs. Now what I'm going to do, the same kind of operations that I'm going to do by using automation anywhere. Okay, now I hope you understand. No, these are all the things has been done at the back end. Now I'm going to do by using automation anywhere. How can I go ahead and do that? Let me switch to Automation Anywhere Enterprise Client. And now I will show you how to work with database commands. If you see on the toolbar, we are having a new. Click on new. You will find an automate window. Click on Workbench. It will open another task editor or the Workbench. If you see Automate Anywhere Enterprise Client, on the left hand side you will find all the commands, right? If you see under that commands, that you will find a database. As I have shown you in the presentation, this is the database commands. If you expand that, the sub commands, you will find connect, disconnect, SQL query, insert or update or delete, run store procedure. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to connect to my SQL Server Management Studio, and now I'm going to insert the data into the table. Okay, now how I can do that? Manually by using Workbench. First of all, as the first step, please remember, you have to connect to the database by using connect subcommand, or else you can, when you're going to drag and drop this database onto the new task or the action list, you will find it automatically. Let me drag and drop this new database. Let me drag and drop this connect sub command onto the new task. Let me go ahead, let me do that. I'm just holding this connect and then drag and dropping onto the action list. Once you have opened that, you will find a window database. You can see select database command. You can see a lot of database commands on here, as I shown: connect, disconnect, SQL query, insert or update or delete command, run store procedure. Once you have dragged and drop, you can choose any option. First of all, as a first step, that I need to connect to my database, right? So the first connect, I'm going to give the session name as DB connection. I'm just giving the session name as DB connection. And if you see the connection string, uh, if you know that one, that you can give it, or else how can I create a connection string? If you see over here the three dots, please click on that. And you can see the data links properties. You can see the provider, connection, advanced, all these are all the things which it is going to be providing these data links. Under provider, you can see there's a lot of providers. One is OLEDB, Microsoft Jet for the Excel, OLEDB connections, and you can see SQL Server native, SQL Server for the ODBC drivers, Oracle, all these things. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to be working on the SQL Server, so that OLEDB provider for SQL Server, I'm going to selecting it, and then I'm going to click on next. Now specify the following connection to the SQL Server data. What is the, first one, select or enter a server name. What is the server name that I have to give? Let me show you that. If you see over here at the starting time I have given, this is the properties, correct? This is the connections that I have given you. Let me go ahead the properties, and you can see the name again. You can see that what is the thing that I have given this entire name. Okay, I'm just copy pasting that, or else we can give, and if you don't remember this desktop name, you can just give in the dot, nothing but localhost or the server name, and enter the information to log on to the server. So if you know the username password while you are going to be installing this SQL Server, you have given username and the password, but I have done with the Windows NT, so that I'm using Windows NT. And if you see the third step, select the database on the server. So let me expand that you can see student database which I have been created over here, correct? I'm going to select student database, and then I'm going to check the connection it is working on, a test connection. Test connection has been succeeded. Okay, and now I'm going to click on OK. Now if you see the connection string has been generated automatically. Provider is OSQL OLEDB1 integrated security SSPI. Persist security info equal to false, initial catalog, student database, data source, this is the server name, and all these things has been given. Now let me go ahead, let me save it. At the first step we have given the connection. Now as a second step, now I want to show you how to insert the data into the particular table. This is, I have used the same command. Now I'm going to use the same command. Okay, but how can I do by using database commands, right? If you see over here, insert or update or delete. Let me drag and drop as a second step. If you see this checkbox, this radio button has been, selected. And if you see the session name, which is I have already given the session name, that session name has been taken. This is the session name. While I am going to give it, I have given DB connection. Now enter, insert or giving into student table ID, comma name are the two columns, values I'm just giving 2, and then I'm just giving the Amir, because of Amir is updated with the Basha previously, right? Or else I will just give some other name as Kala. Okay, and if you see there's a timeout for the query in 30 seconds, this is the option. But if you want query, that query has to be timeout in 10 seconds or 20 seconds based on time that you can go ahead and you can give it. Now let me go ahead, let me save it. So yeah, the first step that you have given the connection, second step you have given the executing the SQL statement, and the third step, once the execution has been completed, I'm going to disconnecting it. So if you see, whatever the connection I have given, I'm going to disconnecting it, the same session, I'm going to disconnecting it. Now I'm going to save it. Okay, now the entire actions you can see in the, if we have any mouse clicks on filters, all these things, as you don't have anything as of now, these are all the actions related to the database, correct? Now I'm going to saving it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new folder. Today's date is 25/06/2019, and I'm going to set as default. I'm going to say it as database commands. Okay, I will say a database commands as insert. I will do all the insert and update and all these things in the same thing, or else I will use different things. And I'm going to saving it. Now if you see, let me go ahead, let me execute the select query. If you see, I don't have any records, right? After running this taskbar, there should be one record at least, because of I am going to executing this execute SQL statement. Let me go ahead, let me do that. I'm clicking on run. Runtime window has been started and it has been closed successfully, right? Let me go ahead, let me see by clicking F5. Now you can see ID as 2 and name is color. Okay, this is what we have done by using insert or update. Now what I want to do, I want to update this value below this one. Let's assume I want to update another record. Then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to be inserting or updating the same query. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to update student, set name as Basha, and ID is 2. I'm just going to be updating it, and then I'm going to give it as a 10 seconds, and then I'm going to saving it. If you see, you can see two commands over there. One is insert and update. Let me go ahead, let me saving it, and then I'm going to running it. Runtime window has been started, and you can see there's a duplicate key value is 2. Okay, there's a duplicate value is 2. Let me go ahead, let me edit it. What is the duplicate value? Okay, where ID I'm just going to be updating. Maybe there's already a value. Let me check it out. ID value is 2. Why this query is not updating? Okay, let me check it out directly from here from the database. Oh, right, it has been updated. Let me save. Oh, okay, maybe I have not saved it. Okay, let me run again. Oh, sorry. So because of we have already inserted this insert into SQL statement, that's the reason it has been not including once again. So not inserting, I'm going to click on 3, and then I'm going to saving it because of ID value is primary key, right? So that it is not including it is not inserting again. Let me go ahead, let me save it. I have already saved it. Now let me go ahead, let me update the value. I'm going to give some other value as I will just give as Shashi something. Okay, because of I have already done from the backend. Okay, let me go ahead, let me save it, and then I'm going to running it. If you see, it has been executed successfully. Now if you see, there should be 2 records. Let me see, 2 is Shashi and 3 is Kala that has been done. This is about the insert or update or delete query. Okay, now in the same thing, what I'm going to show you, the SQL query. I want to fetch all the records which are available in the particular table. Now, how can I do? There's a SQL query that I'm having. Let me go ahead, let me do this. I'm just updating the SQL query saying as select star from student. The session name, you can see the same connectivity. The maximum number of records that you can fetch it out. You have given all the star, but if you want to fetch out the particular records, then you can go ahead and you can give the maximum number of to fetch the records. This is optional that I have given. The timeout, if you see that timeout for query in how many seconds, if you want, you can give it in 10 seconds. If you want to export this data to the CSV file, then you can go ahead and you can export the data to CSV file by selecting this checkbox, and then you have to give the path. So over here you can see the three dots. Please expand that. Now the path, you are going to give it any path that you can give it. So if you don't have that file, it will be automatically creating a file on the desktop. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm just giving student database.csv and then encoding ASCII. If there's a checkbox append to already existing CSV, I'm not appending anything. I'm just going to be selecting that. Then I'm going to saving it. And I'm just removing this, if I want, if I can delete it, or I'm just updating with the value of 4, the step number, and I'm just giving some value as some value kasla, and then I'm going to saving it. Okay, so at the fourth step that I'm going to selecting all the records, and then I'm going to exporting into the CSV file. Now let me go ahead, let me saving it, and then let me go ahead, let me run it. If you see, 5 out of 5 has been ran successfully. Now you can see there's the student database. Let me go ahead, let me check it out by clicking on that. You can see 2, 3, 4 records are available which are showing in the same way. You can see select top records over here. Okay, this is about the SQL query. If you have any multiple bulk queries like joins, inner joins, multiple tables, all these things also you can do it by using SQL query. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I will show you how to run the store proc. Okay, to run the store proc, I need to create a store proc in the database. Okay, what's the simple thing? I'm going to create a database. Okay, I'm going to create a store procedure. Create procedure. Just giving sp underscore select data as begin. I'm just giving the same thing, select star from student, and I'm going to give it as end student, and then I'm going to, oh sorry, it is not giving enter. Okay, if you see, what is the store purpose is that to find all the to fetch all the records which are available in the particular table. Okay, if you see over here, I'm not giving any kind of inputs. I'm just executing this store procedure, and then let me show you how to execute the store procedure exec sp underscore select data, the same thing, but we don't have any inputs or outputs as of now. It's a simple thing. Now what I want to do, I want to execute the same thing by using automation anywhere database command. As of now that I'm going to deleting all these all the steps 2, 3 and 4. Okay, on behalf of the select query, I'm just going to be executing the sub command. If you see run store proc, what is the connectivity, the procedure name, I will say what is the procedure name, the same thing which I have given, sp underscore select data. Okay, we don't have anything. If you want to add any parameters, you can add it. I don't have any parameters. Export the data to the same CSV. Okay, I want to take the output. That output where I have to give in the same student. No, the timeout for the query in 10, how much time if you want, you can give it the timeout seconds. And I'm not appending to already existing. Okay, now already we are having some values over here, right? Let me append it. So I'm not going to deleting it. We'll find some more values which is appending or not. Okay, now as of now that I'm going to appending it, and let me go ahead and let me save it. Okay, now what I'm going to do, this entire workbench that I'm going to saving it. Let me go ahead and let me run this same task. If you see runtime window has been executed, 3 out of 3 steps has been executed successfully. Now let me go ahead, let me open the student database, CSV, and you can see 234 again 234 has been appended. The reason is that if you see this data, I have given as append to CSV file. If you don't want to append it, please go ahead and remove this option, and then I'm going to saving it. Let me run once again so that this data will come as a single value. Means only what are the records that we have, it will become sorted. Let me run again. Now 3 out of 3 steps has been executed successfully. Let me go ahead, let me check it out. If you see only 2, 3, 4 records came. That is nothing but what are the records you have in this particular table that the same record has been fetched successfully. I hope you understand the database command, how to connect, how to disconnect the database, how to execute the SQL queries, how to insert or update or delete sub command, how to run the store process by using database command. Thank you for watching Automation Anywhere tutorials. I will see you in the next section. Till then, bye bye.